Hi, Scorpio. And today we're going to use the Rock and Roll Tarot, and we're going to pull 3 cards: a physical, so what's going on around you, a mental and emotional, how you're feeling. So this is like what you're doing, how you're feeling, what you're thinking, and then we're going to do a spiritual. So that's going to be like what you're experiencing and like you're in relation to who you are. Okay. So physical, mental and emotional, and spiritual. Okay. And then I'm also going to pick a archetype card. And this is a huge deck. Okay. And what these are is fragments of who we are, all our multifaceted personality traits and characteristics, all summed up in a huge deck. And every month, you know, we're all dealing with stuff all the time. But every month, something is going to be like the fragrance in the air. You know, what's the overlay, you know, what's in the air. So that's what that's going to be like. And for you, it is, oh, Cancer got this as well. Must be a water sign thing. Detective. Okay. So there's something you're trying to figure out. Now keep in mind, this is going to overlay your entire reading. So it's going to affect your physical card, what you're doing and what's going on. And it's going to affect your mental and emotional, what you're thinking, how you're feeling. And it's going to affect your experience. What's happening? What's the lessons? Okay, what's going on? And the light. Now these are the positive ways it can be affecting you, negative ways it can be affecting you, and let's hope you fall on this side. And if not, hey, that's okay. You can just bring it up. You know. So if it's positively affecting you this month, that's great powers of observation and intuition. A desire to seek out the truth. So this is like, if it's positively affecting you, it's like, you know, you're at the peak of intuition. You might be using some kind of, you know, I feel like it's really for you guys differently than, you know, Cancer and stuff. I feel like Cancer is so intuitive, but I feel like with this card coming up for you, this is more like a gut feeling. Okay. This is not so much like divining tools and tarot cards and reading, you know, futures and things like that. I feel like for you, this is more of like a gut feeling. Like you're seeking out the truth. You're going with your gut. You have a desire to find out if what your gut is feeling is the truth, maybe. Okay. And then on the negative aspects, voyeurism and falsifying information. So it's like, you know, stay away from that. Okay. You don't want to give someone the wrong idea, and you don't want to be just, you know, you don't want to mislead others. So if you're doing that or sending someone in a wrong direction so you can find the right direction, don't do that. Okay, turn that around. But for most of you, I feel like it's you're very observant, your intuition's heightened, your gut feeling, and you have a desire to figure something out this month. You're really looking into something. You're really trying to search for something. Okay. There's like something. It's like this feel like you want to reach out. Okay. Of your like your spirit wants to. It's what I feel like right now. And I feel like you're reaching out for something, but there's nothing there when you grab. Okay. It's like you want an answer. So I hope that's accurate for you guys, but I hope you find what you're looking for too, because it feels very strong. Okay, so let's get into my Rock and Roll Tarot deck card. And the reason I have the camera turned around today is because I love these cards, first of all. I did a review on them. You should check that out. But they have words on them. So I might pick up on something, but a whole nother word could come up for you guys. And it kind of like expands on a general reading where you guys can get more specific for yourselves even. And I really like that. So let's pick your physical, what's going on around you card. Okay. Okay. And Knight of Rods. See those cards? Aren't they awesome? Okay. And that's your physical, what's going on around you, what you're doing card. Okay. And let's see what your mental and emotional, how you're feeling and what your thinking card is. Okay. And we have the Five of Cups. Okay. And this is your spiritual card. And so we have the Knight of Cups. Cups, 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 water, water, water. And you got, okay, so you got fire, water, water. Okay, if you're looking at elements of your cards. And this card also came up for Cancer. So keep that in mind that they're a fellow water sign. So this is a very emotional month for you. Very emotional. Very emotional. There's blue, deep blue behind both of these cards. Both of these cards are very similar because they're cups cards. But I love the blue in here because it's really telling me that, like, it's very deep emotional. Okay? Feelings. Okay? So this card here, this is like the card for me of, like, moving on. You know, damage is done. It's like picking up your losses, sorrow. It says regret. Okay, that's kind of like, okay, grief. So if some of you have in your physical life, you know, have had some kind of, prior to December, some issues going on, you know, it could be continuing. Because I know that Scorpio had, you know, not the greatest month last month. So, in your physical world, it says passionate, a dynamo. So this like tells me like you're busy, you're motivated, you're, it says cocky. I love how she did these cards. It's like you're going for it, okay? Like you're determined, you're bound and determined. And I feel like it's connected to your detective, okay? You're bound and determined to figure something out. There's something you just gotta know. And you're not gonna give up, okay? But you're feeling, okay, so maybe something happened, okay? You know, like you know the answer, or you know your answer is right. And so like you regret not speaking up, or you know, this is sadness, woes, regret, mourn, and grief. So some of you might have lost somebody, you know, if you've lost somebody, or, you know, a pet or a loved one or something. You know, for some of you, this is what you could be thinking and feeling this month. But as far as doing, you're very active, okay? You're very go-getting. You're like almost coming off as like abrasive this month. Like you just don't know what to do with all that energy because there's something you want the answer. You want to figure something out. Okay. And it's like, you know, that you have to do it. Like you feel like responsibility that you're the only one that has to figure this out. Okay. But maybe you need to take a step back. I'm just going to say that's not in the cards, but take a step back and realize that maybe you can ask for some help. You know, you don't have to be, you know, full steam ahead all the time. And maybe, but I see, like, that's the feeling behind it. So your physical doing is feeling very much like adrenalized, okay? And then your thoughts and emotions are kind of like sad and gloomy. And look at how deep, dark blue behind both of these are. So it's like feeling depressed maybe about something. Okay? And then you have the Knight of Cups. Okay, and this is the card of Scorpio. It says Scorpio in here, but this is also a Scorpio card. And it's for your spirituality. I feel like this card is kind of telling me that you need to take a calmer approach. Okay, because these are like two opposite ends of the spectrum here. This is like, gotta go right now. Gotta go. Okay. And this is like, well, you know, everything's ruined. I ruined it, or I'm just grief stricken. Maybe you lost a friendship or a relationship, or, you know, you're separated, or maybe, there's too much damage done in a relationship to repair, or, you know, or maybe, you know, there's something you're really upset about. But at the same time, it could be like you're distracting yourself by coming over here and going all the time. Okay. And so so on your spiritual card, this is kind of like you're getting creative with it because it's a water cup. Okay. And, so it's like, see how it says lover? Okay. And romantic. I'm saying, maybe you're realizing that your partner might be able to help you. Okay, maybe your higher self is trying to tell you, who's all stuck in this, okay, and this. When you're not here, you're here. And when you're not here, you're here. And when you're not here, you're here. Okay, see the cycle? But this one's like trying to get in and say, hey. Ask your partner for help. Or ask, just be in love with somebody right now. If you're in a relationship, just, get close to that person and tell them how you're feeling. Lean on them for support right now, or, this is artistic too, but of course, because it's, a water card, it's like creativity, and maybe it's just as simple as saying, you're getting creative and trying to figure out your answers. Trying to figure out maybe what you want to do or make a decision on something. Or how to get unsad, okay? Or ungrief stricken, or, unregretful. Because one thing I have to say about the regret is you shouldn't. I don't feel like that is something that, I don't feel like the responsibility of the spilt wine here is on you with the regret. So if this is like a relationship that needs to end, or if this is someone you lost, or somebody that you're not friends with anymore, or you lost a job that was like devastating because somebody there was your friend too, or something, like something big you're sad about, or you regret, maybe a decision that you made in the past that you really regret not doing now because it's showing to be like it would have been better. Don't do that, because I really, really don't feel like I feel like you're coming here, these are yours, and you're like saying goodbye to this, whatever's spilt. Okay. I feel like you need to take the time you need to deal with your sadness before it turns into a deeper depression, okay? But doing this all the time is not helping. It's just distracting. So you have to get into something artistic. You have to get into something maybe even spiritual. But, like I said, if you're not an artistic person, you're like, I have nothing to do with any of that, then, which I highly doubt being a Scorpio, then you can say, I'm going to be with my lover. I'm going to be romantic with my partner. If you're single, and maybe you're like, hey, I need to find a partner because I'm sick of running all the time and then being lonely, get into something, do something else with your time, or something constructive that can heal you. Don't just chatter and be abrasive and, apparently charming, but also cocky. Okay. Don't let whatever this is affect you like this. More so do this. Okay. And keep in mind that you're going to find the answers you need. You just have to find creative ways to do it. Okay.